This track just is bringing it. There's like a new sound around every turn it takes. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Molly, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to the debut studio album, the self-titled album from heavy metal band System of a Down. System of a Down is a band that a lot of you have definitely been recommending that I check out for a while now. To the extent of my knowledge, I have never heard any of their stuff, none of their albums or tracks, so I'm very intrigued to hear what they sound like. I figured I would start with their debut album, their 1998 self-titled album, just called System of a Down, and just see kind of how they start out, what their first album sounds like. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on into my reaction to the debut album from System of a Down. Let's start this thing out. So track 1, we have Sweet Pea, I think it's called. Ooh. Those vocals are really cool. This track is bringing it, that's for sure. We're only a minute in too, and it's already really impressive with the development of its sound. I love how dark and deep the sound of this track is. It just sounds demented, like there's just such this dark, twisted quality to it. Track 1, Sweet Pea. Wow. That one was an intense little start to this album. I loved that track. You could probably tell in my reaction. I had like a smile on my face the whole time because it was just so entertaining to listen to. There's kind of just this darker tone and some like really deep, heavy instrumentation going on. They're definitely playing up on the whole loud, quiet dynamic, which I generally really like in music. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of this album based on that first track, that's for sure. And moving on to track 2, we have No. They're definitely bringing back that heavy guitar that the first track had. This is such a fun album to listen to so far. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the vocalist yet. His vocals are definitely interesting, that's for sure. There's just such an explosive sound from this guitar. They're just playing it with such conviction, like there's such power to its sound. Track 2, No. Again, same as that first one, I'm going to reiterate the same points, just bringing it with the energy. I like the kind of raw, growly sound to his voice. I think it's growing on me. I wasn't really sure about it at first, but it's kind of growing on me. The instrumentals are awesome. I'm loving just that dark, heavy guitar. So good. And I'm going to move on to track 3, Sugar. This one's definitely got some interesting sounds going on to it. Almost some slight jazzy qualities. And then they're bringing that heaviness back here during the chorus. Sugar! Kick her in the baby! She's okay! This track is weird. In a good way, though. It's very entertaining to listen to. No lights! No music! That was track 3, Sugar. That one was a little bit different. The verses were almost kind of jazzy sounding, definitely less heavy and intense, but they created a great dynamic with kind of those more fun, playful sounds on the verses with, again, just a really heavy, driving chorus that brought the energy. All right, and moving right along, we have track 4, Suggestions. All right, this one's a little bit more subdued, melodic, at least at the start. But if you want the answers, you let me say, man, his vocalizations are really unique. There's definitely a very ominous tone to this track. Oh man, I love the... I was not expecting that. This track just is bringing it. There's like a new sound around every turn it takes. That was track 4, Suggestions. That one for sure is a standout because of how dynamic it was with its range of sounds. I loved how it started off so melodic and then it just brought it on the chorus. You had, again, the really dark, intense guitar and instrumental going on, but then the vocalizations were so fascinatingly interesting on that track. And I'm going to move right on to track 5 called Spiders. All right, this one's starting off a little bit more melodic too, kind of like that last one. There is a very haunting sound to this whole album. This track especially has it. I love that percussion. Track 5, Spiders. I would say that's definitely the most melodic track we've had on this album so far. It still had a certain intensity to it though, just a little bit more of a darker, haunting, sinister sound to it. I really loved the guitar and percussion on that one because it was a little bit more pulled back and restrained. You could really appreciate the sounds of the instrumentals. And track 6, we have DDevil, I think it's called. Fun percussion going on. Again, with those vocalizations, they're so different. There are little infusions of borderline jazzy sounding moments on this album, kind of reminiscent of the Mars Volta almost, like just a little bit in that realm. That was track 6, DDevil, short little track. That one was less than 2 minutes long. I just love how they're just playing around with a lot of different sounds, especially the vocals on this album are really standing out to me. They're just very different. I haven't heard a lot of like the fun little vocal inflections that the lead singer is doing. I haven't heard that from a lot of other artists, and it just is making this album very entertaining to listen to for sure. All right, moving right along to track 7, we have Soil. I love how kind of echoey and light and airy the percussion sounds paired with that really dense, heavy guitar. Those two instrumental pairings just work so well together. Yeah, the vocals are so interesting. At certain points, it's almost like he's fast talking more than singing. Again, they're bringing in some jazzy elements. I love it.
Why the fuck did you take him away from us, you motherfucker?
Track 7, Soil. Definitely a lot of intensity going on with that one, with everything. The instrumentals, the vocals, just bringing it for sure. Love the dynamics going on. Again, they're doing that great throughout this whole album, just with the infusion of jazzy, really playful sounding elements, and then they just bring it with the intensity. It's a great combination. And I'm going to move right along to track 8 called War. Love that guitar at the start. That's cool. I love that guitar. It's such a unique sound. Got some very haunting chanting. I just got goosebumps. That was such an amazing build-up. That was track 8, War. That was a amazing track. How it built up on that little interlude where it got really quiet. You had kind of the haunting, chanting vocalizations going on in the background, and then it just slowly built up and then brought it. Like I said, I got goosebumps. It had so much energy and power to its sound. And I'm going to move on to track 9 called Mind. Ah, yes. I love really slow, deep, rich bass. This is awesome. Again, with that just dark, ominous tone. Something's building up. It's fading out now. Okay. This is a fun track. I feel like they're throwing everything on this track, like everything they've done throughout this album so far. I absolutely love their heavy sound. But then they just throw weird stuff on that oddly works. That was track 9, Mind. That one was crazy. The first minute and a half or so was almost like an interlude, how restrained it was, how quiet, and then it started fading out. And then when they brought the intensity, oh man, that was a crazy one. I absolutely loved it. Just the really intense driving instrumentals paired with all of that growly vocalization going on, and they're just doing so much in terms of the different sounds that they're using on this album. And moving on, we have track 10 called Peephole. Interesting kind of ambient sounds here at the start.
When your stars are baked and your rivers fly,
don't you ever get stuck in the sky? I think that's what he's saying. When you're high. These verses are so weird. I mean that as a compliment. There's like this very theatrical sound to them, like they're putting on a performance. All the sounds that they're using on this track are just so crazy. Track 10, Peephole. Talk about dynamics going on. That one was crazy with all of the sounds that they were using, the different vocalizations too that were being used. Like I said, almost a sort of like over-the-top theatricality to its sound. And moving on, we have track 11 called CUBErt, CUBErt, something like that. Very interesting guitar here. And now they're bringing the more kind of weighty, intense sound. And then we got the crazy vocals, and they're just pairing it all together. This album is just like this with its sound. It's so manic and crazy, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Track 11, CUBErt. Again, a really short one, less than 2 minutes long, just bringing it with the intensity, and I feel like I'm reiterating the same points here, but they're just fusing so many different dynamics on this album. It's crazy. All right, and up next is track 12 called Darts. I just can't get over the lead singer's vocals. Man, they are really changing it up here. They just keep going back and forth between this crazy manic sound and then these really restrained intervals with just this pounding percussion. That was track 12, Darts. Absolute insanity in musical form, for sure. I just loved the quieter bits that they were putting in between the crazy aggressive parts. They really just had like that really intense percussion that was just like pounding out this beat. And moving on to the last final track on the debut album from System of a Down, we have track 13 called P.L.U.C. You know how I've always made the comment that Deftones is so good at doing like the intense, subdued dynamic and pulling that off? System of a Down takes that times 100. I definitely would like to look into the lyrics more on this album. I cannot get over how good the heavy tone of the guitar on this whole album is. And I really like the melodic vocals at this part too. That was track 13, P.L.U.C, the final track on the debut album from System of a Down. I liked how they incorporated a little bit more of a melodic side to their sound, especially toward the end of that track. It kind of makes me want a little bit more of that from them. I really liked how it sounded. What an end to this album. That track, P.L.U.C, was again just insane. So many different dynamics going on with the sound. So there you have it. That is my reaction to System of a Down's debut album, their 1998 self-titled album. I was very surprised at how much I loved this album. It was so entertaining. The dynamics of sound going on were crazy. Based on my first listen to this album, the tracks that really stood out to me, the first one, Sweet Pea, just as the opener, brought so much energy. Also, track 4, Suggestions, was a huge standout. That one was crazy, how it started so melodic and then just went so hard. And then also track 8, War, with that kind of haunting, quiet bridge that led up to the end of that track. It gave me goosebumps. And track 9, Mind, how that one started so melodically and then faded out and then just brought it at the end of that track. Yeah, just overall so many sounds going on here with the instrumentals and the vocals. Fantastic delivery, and I am so glad I've finally listened to System of a Down. I look forward to hearing the rest of their albums, and yeah, as usual, thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I will see you in the next video.